welcome to another episode of the Sal Licata Show, available here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. As we approach NFL season officially, with the Jets and Giants about to get their games underway here in just about 2 weeks, a week and a half, whatever it is. September 13th is the official day, right? You were talking about there, Mike. Too nice. We were talking about that before. They'll both be playing in their final exhibition game on this Friday. We did some Jets yesterday. Today we do a little Giants roundtable with Mike Too Nice and Frank the Chef. So Mike Too Nice has been on with us plenty of times before. You check him out on YouTube. He's got his own Giants channel there. Does a great job with that. Does some net stuff too. We won't get into that. Frank the Chef, I met Frank at Rails, which is a local spot here in New Jersey. We've become friends. He is a diehard, passionate New York Football Giants fan. We've been to a game together a couple of years ago, so I wanted to have Frank on as well. He'll be making his debut here. Now, there's actually some news going on. We didn't know this as we were planning to tape this episode to air Wednesday, but some news today, unfortunately, starting with Calvin Austin getting banged up. And Mike, I'll start with you here. I was watching Austin last preseason game and thinking to myself, man, this is going to be great. This guy's a weapon here. And unfortunately, now it looks like he is lost for the season. Give me your initial thoughts on the devastating news, potentially with Calvin Austin being lost.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see, of course, but just first reactions, not great. He was going to help this team. I don't know how much and to what degree, but we saw the end-around play against the Dolphins. He was probably going to be their punt returner. There was always a chance it could be someone else. There's Braxton Berrios hanging there as well. But I think Austin had the upper hand in that battle. So now that's a bump for Berrios, of course, and Austin was on a one-year deal. So you're hoping that at 27, he can come back next year at 28, maybe try and get back on this roster, get back on a different roster. We'll see what happens. But just unfortunate. We're still hoping for the best, but yeah. That's a tough blow, especially for special teams.
Frank, are you into the preseason and that, like, Mike goes over all the roster and stuff like that? Are you paying attention to what's going on in the preseason with all these injuries or whatever the latest news is?
I am right now, and thank God there hasn't been any injuries. But yeah, that is a big loss. But I think that opens up the spot for Odell now.
Yeah, you want Odell back on this team?
I do. I know, and I don't think I'm in the majority, but I do want him back.
But is it just nostalgia, or do you actually think that he could help the team?
I think he could help. I think he still has something left in the tank. Is he an everyday, every down player? No, but I think, 4 touchdowns, 600 yards maybe. I think he can help.
Mike, do you think this is an automatic now that – now, there was a thought that Odell – we just had Pudgy Mike talking some Giants football earlier in the week or last week. I forget now. It all jumbles together. And he was saying he thought Odell was going to make the team regardless. You think now this is a guarantee that Odell makes the team?
Yeah, I'm like 95% sure now. I mean, it sucks that it has to happen this way. I think because I saw John Harbaugh, he wants to keep 2 quarterbacks, and if they want to keep now 7 receivers at most, they can do that. It probably should be 6 now. But it gives them the opportunity to bring in Odell, who I thought had, and at first I will say it was for nostalgic reasons. I wanted him back for mainly that. But seeing how he's looked so far, it's like, you know what? He actually has something left. He really hasn't made much of an actual impact in the NFL since 2023, which is a while ago now. But I guess all that rest may have helped. He's definitely been in great shape all this time, and getting the opportunity to come back and finish what he started. I think he's very motivated. It sucks that he dropped that one touchdown on Saturday, but he does look pretty good. I'm not trying to be biased, but I think he can help this team still.
He had, Frank, one of those one-handed catches in practice. I mean, I can't get into it. Oh, Odell with the big one-hand catch in practice or pregame warm-ups. To me, that does nothing. It seems it doesn't get you excited either?
No.
No. Well, then what are you excited about? He hasn't done anything. He's never healthy enough. I mean, to me, Odell's best days are long behind him. I don't think it's a big deal, and I do think he's probably going to make the team, but I think the Giants lose out. Like, Calvin Austin is a weapon. He is a weapon that they were going to use, and I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be able to fill that void. So I do think it's more nostalgia.
It is. Hopefully Barrios fills that void of Austin, but we'll see.
It's also crowded, though. Like, they might have to. I've seen speculation of, do they trade Slayton? Do they possibly flip Mooney? I think it'd be more Slayton, if anything. But, like, do they keep all these guys? Because it feels a bit redundant to have Odell, Mooney, Slayton, like all these different guys. I don't know. I mean, they might keep them all, but it just feels like, and it sucks with Austin because he was going to contribute on special teams, which I don't think these other guys are going to do. So it does open the door for Berrios, but I just feel like a lot of these guys do the same thing. So
And Berrios, it might open the door for him. He's not as good as Calvin Austin would have been in that role. So even if it is Berrios, it's going to be a little bit of a step back. Where are you at, Frank, with preseason in general? Not just watching it, but do you think Jackson Dart, you want to see him play? And I haven't even seen, and maybe we know if they're going to play or not in this game 3. Have you seen that, Mike, the announcement, or either of you two?
I haven't.
Okay, so too early for
No.
that. Where are you at, Frank? You like the idea of playing Jackson Dart or starters in preseason games?
I do. Hopefully, they play in this next game at least a quarter. I would have loved to see him play in the Miami game. But I'll tell you what, Jameis Winston looked awesome.
Oh, God. You're liking Jameis. You
Come on, he's the best backup in the NFL right now.
You better hope that you don't see Jameis, and it's not about Jameis,
You're
obviously. No, that's the whole point. You can't. It's got to be Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I know, but is he going to play all 17 games?
But
Is he
that's
not
what
going to get hurt. I mean, he's in the blue tent more than he's on the field.
Right, but if he gets hurt, they are screwed. So I'm with you, though. I want to see them play, and I have literally no idea what they're going to do because I'm still trained to where it used to be preseason week 3, you play basically the majority of the game. That was the dress rehearsal. Then nobody plays in week 4. Now there is no week 4. Right. So this is essentially and like maybe week 2 was supposed to be the dress rehearsal, but obviously that wasn't. You didn't see Dart at all, no Scadaboo. I think they got to play at least a little bit here. Wouldn't you play them, Mike, at least for a quarter or so in this game?
Yeah, I would. I mean, every coach does it differently. I don't think there's concrete evidence on what works, what doesn't work. Obviously, if someone goes down in one of these games, you look like a fool. But I do think these things actually help, and especially for a team with a new coach. I mean, there's some continuity here, but like there's still a good amount of new pieces, especially weapon-wise. So I just want to see how they look, even if it's only 2 drives. Like, just give us something. I'll be there Friday, so I want to see as many good players as possible. But yeah, I just think for like being ready for week 1, which September 13th, I mean, it's close, but it's also basically 2 weeks away, even more. It's like, get out there for a little bit. Of course, stay healthy. That's the number one thing. Right. But I want to see them get some game reps. It can't hurt.
Do you normally go to that game at MetLife, the Snoopy Bowl? Is it still that? I don't know.
I did last year. My girlfriend's a Jets fan, so we're trying to make it like a tradition. So, yeah, okay. maybe every year going forward. We'll see.
Who's the home team in this one?
The Jets.
Yeah. Jets are the home team.
It's
okay.
the Jets team, yeah.
You go, Frank, at all the preseason or no?
Preseason, no, because they're usually Friday, Saturday games. So I'm working.
Did you get your tickets for your one game that you're picking out this year? You have any games set lined up?
No, my son Dom and I haven't picked a game yet. I think in Arizona, just because they're going to honor that 86 team. That would be pretty cool to be there.
Okay, so that's against Arizona when they come in?
Yeah.
I don't even know when that is. I have to relook at the schedule.
No, I got to look at the schedule.
Mike, you have it up?
It's earlier. I think it's like I have it pulled up. Week like 5 or 6, I think it is.
Okay,
week
there
4,
you go.
Week 4.
I'm actually boycotting primetime games, Sal, until they win one.
Yeah,
I've been to the last 3, and I'm tired of leaving at the end of the third quarter.
What was it that we went to? It was Dallas.
The Dallas
it was a
game.
Thursday night game. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Neighbors, I believe, got hurt in that game. It was his rookie year.
It was.
On the heels of that, where are we at, Frank, with your expectations from Malik Neighbors? Finally shed the red jersey, was able to have a little bit of a contact. Where are you at with your expectations, Frank, going into the year with Malik Neighbors?
I believe he's ready week 1. I didn't believe all of that hype about he wasn't going to play. We weren't going to see him for 6 weeks. I had a good feeling about him being back, and I think he'll be ready game 1.
Mike, where are you at? You're comfortable with Neighbors? I mean, sounds like he's going to be on track to play week 1. Are you concerned at all about a guy who's been injury prone just now starting to get hit again for the first time in a while?
A little. I am a little concerned, but like you see the videos, and I'm not a doctor, but he looks really good. I have to say the videos look great. When you heard about the second surgery last year and the complications and having to wait a month before having the surgery, yeah, that scared me. I'm not going to lie. This is like one of your prized possessions. You spent very high pick on this guy, and he's what the offense is going to run through. We do love Scadaboo and guys like that. Isaiah likely should have a good role, but he is the engine of this offense outside of Jackson Dart. So if there is no Neighbors, there's not going to be much winning, but I do think he'll be out there week 1. I agree. It might be a little bit of a pitch count. Maybe he plays 75, 80% of the snaps instead of 95, but he'll be out there. I really do believe that. It seems like after shedding that, non-contact jersey, I feel good about it, but obviously it's a little scary. So we'll see what happens, but I feel good about him being out there.
And maybe that's part of the reason why they'll keep all these wide receivers as long as they can as insurance from Malik Neighbors. Frank, you've been a Giant fan for a long time. You could go back to the '86 year, whatever year you want to pick, even the more recent Super Bowls. It was clear this team had an identity and a lot of the times it was running the football, playing great defense. Giants haven't had great linebackers in a while. I know they're trying to improve that now. Arvell Reese coming in, even McFadden. I like the way he plays as well. What do you think, Frank, is going to be the identity of this Giants football team in year one under Harbaugh?
I think they're big. They're going to hit. They're going to be hard to get around those middle linebackers. And you look at the depth, too. We finally have depth on this team. McFadden is a starter, and now he's a backup. And Tremaine Edmonds is, he's a big guy playing in that middle, and Arvell Reese just looks like a monster. And Carter, I think he's going to be unleashed dog this year. I think the defense and the running game, we're going to get back to pounding the ball. I saw a power eye this week. I was so excited. We're going to run the ball, and that's going to be great in November and December in Giant Stadium.
You like that, Mike? You think that's going to be the identity? Would that be your choice for having this team be the identity, running the football, being a more physical football team?
Yeah, I've always appreciated balanced teams. Of course, it's fun to see the air raid offenses and teams that can throw for 5,000 plus yards a season. But once it gets down to December, January, you do have to run the ball to some degree. I think the Giants are built for that. You bring in Patrick Ricard and you bring back Chris Manhurst, just guys that are strictly blocking, and it just tells you what the identity is going to be of this team. So I do like, and especially you don't want to put too much pressure on Jackson Dart. I don't think he gets too rattled mentally, but just you don't want to have him go out there and throw the ball a ton of times. Let's keep it balanced. Let's rely on Scatterboo. Even Singletary's looks pretty good so far. Tracy, I don't know. Najee Harris, you get what you get with Najee Harris, but he's dependable. I'll give him that, reliable. So, yeah, I do like the idea of being a balanced attack this year. Maybe a bit more running. We'll see.
You mentioned Tracy. Where would you go with him, Mike? I know the potential of Tracy. I personally can't stand it. The sloppiness, the fumbling, obviously the missed blitz pickup. You can't have that happen. Harbaugh, I don't think, is going to tolerate that. What would you do with Tyrone Tracy?
Yeah, right now, we have to see Najee Harris play first. So if Najee Harris was completely healthy, I think I'd be fine just maybe not releasing Tyrone Tracy, but and the difficult part is he's not a special teamer as well. So he's not going to be out there making tackles and things like that. So if you keep him, it's hey, we need you to be a running back. So that's part of the issue. So if they keep 4 backs, I guess I can see that. But I don't know. If he retired today, Tyrone Tracy, he's doing better than most guys picked in this position we're going to do anyway. He's had a nice career. I don't think it'll be anything great. He was already 24 when he was drafted anyway, so I don't expect too much, but there's been too many mistakes. I want guys that are reliable out there. I'm not saying you have to break off a ton of big runs, but I need you to pick up pass pro. I need you to not fumble the ball when no one's touching you. We can't have that. If that happened in week 1 in the third quarter of a tie game, we're all going to be very pissed off about it. So, I want someone that I can trust out there, and I don't know if Tracy's that guy.
Where are you at with Tracy, Frank?
Yeah, but they are going to keep 4 backs, so it's going to be either him or Gray.
True.
So,
True.
He can run the ball. He does have a fumbling problem. He fumbled a lot when he was a rookie. Hopefully he can get cleaned up. He did look like he felt pretty bad about it, but that missed block, man, could have ended our quarterback season right there.
Yeah. Exactly right. You can't have that happen. No. One of those bad plays, you ruin the entire season. Harbaugh talked about it, which is why I have trust that he's not going to tolerate that nonsense. That plus a fumble, plus the fumble history, no, I'm sorry. This is no longer yeah, but. It's not a yeah, but team anymore. Yeah, but you know what? He's got potential, and yeah, but he could run for 1,000 yards. No, you either get the job done or you don't. Tracy is a guy that is sloppy, and just when you see some of the good from him, he'll rip off a 12-yard run or a 20-yard run, then he fumbles, and you remember, oh yeah, this is why we're the Giants. Those things have to get cleaned up, and I fully trust that Harbaugh will. What about the defense specifically, Mike? We mentioned Reese a little bit before and the upgraded linebackers there. I'm with Frank where I do think Abdul Carter is going to have a monster year because of Harbaugh. Are you feeling even more excited about Big Blue's defense this year?
A little. I have my concerns, of course. I look at the secondary, and now you have like Paulson and Debo like fighting for a starting job at this point, which is weird in itself based on what he's being paid. But I am excited about the pass rush, and even seeing like a Chauncey Golston come on now. Like he didn't make much of an impact last year. He was injured at times. Now he's like making some plays in preseason. He looks very powerful. I agree. Abdul Carter, I think if healthy, he's going to have a really nice year. The sacks weren't there last year. They should be better this year. Brian Burns probably won't get 16 again, but I think that Abdul Carter is definitely going to have more. I do have my concerns up the middle. Like I have not liked what I've seen from Darius Alexander so far, whether it's getting overpowered, losing his balance, and that was against like the Dolphins guys, which like I don't like seeing that. Because I have my concerns, and then you're depending on Shelby Harris and DJ Reader, who are in their mid 30s. I mean, Reader I feel a bit more confident in, but yeah, I have my concerns. But cornerbacks, I would say, are my concerns. Defensive tackle. Outside of that, I do feel pretty good, and I do love what I saw from Arvell Reese so far. Like he has so much pop when he hits these guards and stuff. Like he like doesn't put everybody on their ass, but like he definitely is a powerful guy. And once he learns this position more, I think he'll be eventually very good, maybe even great. So I'm excited about him.
Frank,
he's just a beast, taking on fullbacks and making tackles. Oh, yeah. He's fun to watch. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think they're going to miss Dexter Lawrence. I know Lawrence had a down year,
yes,
but it would be foolish to think that they're not going to miss him. Now, they should be able to get to the quarterback. The problem is if the quarterback's handing the ball off and you can't stop the run, that negates the greatest pass rush ever. So between Thibodeau, Carter, Reese, like obviously we know that Burns, the Giants should be able to get to the quarterback. The problem is if you can't stop the run, they're just going to be running it on you, and there's not going to be any sacks to be had. What has you, Frank, most excited going into this year? Diehard Big Blue fan for a long time. Finally, Harbaugh in the building. Feels like there's some level of credibility that hasn't been there in quite some time. What has you most excited going into this Giants season?
Special teams. We have an all-pro punter. We have two kickers battling for a position. We had a guy kicking the dirt last year. Super excited about special teams.
Harbaugh should clean that up, you would think. And those things, Mike, add up to wins over the course of a regular season. I'm sure you're fired up about. Remember, Harbaugh, a special teams guy at heart. That's how he got started here. I'm sure you're excited as well about the special teams.
I mean, yeah, it's been an issue in the past, of course. Like when I became a Giants fan, it was like Jeff Fiegels punting for this team, and like at that point I was like, oh, we're great at punter. And of course, so many years later we've had some issues. I've seen the Matt Dodges of the world and things like that. So to finally have some consistency at punter with Stout, like that's going to feel really good. I do like how Zavada's looked so far kicking the ball. He's been perfect so far, and he has a big leg. I want to see like a 55 60-yard attempt just to see what happens. Like maybe the Giants take a knee or something and try to get a long field goal on Friday, but he should win that job. I don't think it's much of a discussion at this point, but I'm excited. Like there's some upside there. I was not expecting special teams to be the answer, but now that I think about it, it's like, hey, it's actually pretty exciting compared to years past.
Where are you at, Mike, with a projected win total? Well, I forget when the last time we had you on was, but maybe after the draft, right around then, something like that.
Yeah.
Where are you at as we stand right now ahead of their final preseason game on Friday, as far as the Giants' expectations win total going into the year?
I remember you gave me crap for this last time because I wouldn't give a win total, and you're like, just say it. And I was like, all right. So I think I had them at 8-9. I think I'll stay there. I really do want to be more optimistic, but like you do look at the schedule. There are some ones where it's like, yes, they should win that, no problem. But then those teams are probably saying the same thing about the Giants. But like, I just expect more consistency this year. At least there's something to be excited about. I feel like in previous years, as I've said, I was never a big Daniel Jones believer. I was never a believer in drafting Barkley. It was tough to really get like amped and excited for these seasons. Now I feel like they have an actual team that's built around, like, not perfectly, of course, but we just mentioned special teams. They improve their defense in areas where they had to. They have playmakers now offensively, and they have a head coach with a great resume. So I feel like there is something to believe in. The wins may not be a ton right away, but I think they'll be around 500. I'm going to say 8 wins.
Frank, you skew more optimistic, where Mike is more realistic.
I'm losing that hopeful optimistic. I'm being a realist. Okay. I'm happy because now we can have realistic expectations because we have a coach.
All right. So what are they? What are your realistic expectations?
I'm going to say 7 wins.
That's pretty low for you. I thought an optimist, 7 wins. That's it. Harbaugh.
It's a tough division.
Jackson Dart?
Dart, still, I mean, he's in his second year, but, it's really going to be his first full year. He's going to make mistakes. But what I do like is, we were 1-7 in 3-point games last year. So if you can flip that and you can win 5 of those instead of 1 of those, now you're adding 5 wins to that record. I think you got to beat the non-playoff teams, Miami, Cleveland. You got to win those games, and you got to win them dominantly. And then, the schedule is rough, and the NFC East is rough. So you got to split, which isn't going to be easy. We beat Philly, but we really, I think you got to beat Philly once, you got to beat Dallas once, and you got to take care of Washington twice. So,
yeah.
And you have to win that division to get to be a playoff team. So I don't know if playoffs are in the picture this year, but I'm going to say, 7-8 wins.
Yeah, I feel like this, though, has to be a year, Mike, where forget what the end result is, win total-wise or playoffs. This has to be a year where you go into these games saying the Giants have a realistic chance to win. They may have beaten the Eagles in the past or competed against the Cowboys, but it felt more fluky, like, oh, wow, they kept the game close, or wow, they were able to win a game. Do you think, Mike, this will be a year where we go into the year saying, hey, on any given day, and forget even the best teams, I'm just talking about in their division, where the Giants realistically can compete week to week within their division?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's exciting about this year. I mean, I remember prior years going into matchups and just thinking like, yeah, there's no shot. I don't feel like that right now. Maybe ask me in November and I'll change my opinion, but at least right now in the August optimism, like I do feel this team can compete with pretty much anybody. Now, if they come out in week 1 and they look slow offensively, then they go to LA with the Rams and get beat 45-17, I'll have a different answer at that point. But right now, at least, I feel like they can compete with most teams, which is something I couldn't really say in the past. So I feel good about that. And like we mentioned about the blown leads and stuff, I think last year they had like the most double-digit fourth quarter blown leads of all time or some crazy stat like that. Like that can't happen. And like one of the things that Ravens fans always said about Harbaugh was that he had too many blown leads. I mean, I don't know how many of them were his fault. A lot of them were player error, in my opinion. Like I remember the Zay Flowers fumble on the 1-yard line, the Mark Andrews drop 2-point conversion. Like that's not a coach's fault, but like he was on the wrong end of some bad like fourth quarter blown leads. But I feel like a lot of times with a new head coach, for some reason, there's like this. We saw it with Dable in 22. Like there's just like this extra belief that a team has, and I think that might strike the Giants this year. It obviously can happen to any new team with a new coach, but we saw it with the Patriots last year, right? They went on this big run. I'm not saying the Giants will be the same thing. We saw it with Chicago, but like it's been done before. The blueprint's there, but as we just said, like the division's tough. I'm still sticking to, I think the Giants beat the Eagles in Philly for the first time in 13 years. I am still sticking with that.
From your mouth to God's ears.
I know you'd love to see that.
It lines up perfectly. It really does. They're coming out the bye. Harbaugh's great out of the bye. Like if this is the time to do it, if anything. So I
Frank,
really hope so.
Who do you hate? Who do you hate most in the division? Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders. Who's your most hated rival?
I really don't hate the Commanders. Most of the time it's Dallas, but Eagles, I cannot stand the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. I hate their fans. They're just, I don't know.
Are you the same with that, Mike? Who's your most hated team in the division?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had some hatred for the Cowboys growing up because I feel like we had so many close games with them in like the early 2010s when I was growing up. I mean, but yeah, based on like how the fans act and stuff and even some of their recent success, I used to love saying the Eagles have no Super Bowls. Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore. So I'm going to say Philly. I'm not really a big fan of how they act, some of those fans, but yeah, I don't like either of them, but I think Philly's my number one enemy.
Do either of you think that the Cowboys will be the most, the biggest threat in the NFC East?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Eagles? So we're
they're going to score
the
points, but they're going to give up points.
Yeah, that's how I feel. They should be better defensively, but like you're talking like they were like one of the worst in football last year. I still think their defense is going to be an issue. I don't know. They could be an 8-9 win team, Dallas, maybe 10, but I don't see them being dominant. I think Philly still has the roster to be dominant.
Frank, where would you rank the Giants head coach quarterback in the division?
I think we have the best combination. I mean, best combination. Is he the best quarterback in the division? No. I mean, that's got to be Dak.
All right. Well, if you so then if you separate it and say who's the best head coach in the division, you're saying Harbaugh?
Yes.
Okay. And then you give Dak the best quarterback in the division. Who would you have number 2? I mean, Jaden Daniels was great when he wasn't hurt.
He was a flash, yeah.
Okay. Well, but Dart showed some potential. I would rank the Giants for, like, I don't love Sirianni, although they're the most accomplished. Like, if we were saying who's the most accomplished combination, I would say Sirianni and Hurts.
But Hurts isn't a good quarterback. I don't think he's a good quarterback.
I know, but he won a Super Bowl.
I think Saquon won that Super Bowl.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying he did win a Super Bowl. Mike, how would you have that ranked?
I feel like just based on accomplishments and stuff, like, and here's the funny thing about this question, right? And like a year from now, it might be like the complete opposite
Upside
order.
down.
I feel like if Daniels got hurt again, he's probably fourth because you're like, oh, this guy can't stay healthy.
Right.
If Dak like chokes in the playoffs or they don't make the playoffs again, then they're like, all right. So I don't know. Right now on this day, I'd probably go with probably Jaden first because I think he's the best one, just naturally the best one. I think we'll see it this year. He'll stay healthy. We'll see. Dak, I'd say 2. Hurts because he has the Super Bowl, and even the Super Bowl they lost, Hurts was phenomenal. Like it wasn't his fault they lost that game. And then I'd say Dart. But as I said, like that can all change. Every single one can move in a different position. So we're going to see how that plays out.
And I think maybe that's the biggest question mark here is, in fact, Dart, who we don't doubt as like the potential, but we still don't know. He could be great. Could he be what Drake May was a year ago? Yeah, probably not to that level. Could he be what Jaden Daniels was 2 years ago? Probably not to that level, but maybe. I mean, he could be. Or could he be, I hate even using the term bust, but like there is a realistic world in where he gets hurt and doesn't play, or he does play and it's like, oh, maybe he's not as good as we thought he would be. So maybe Jackson Dart is the biggest X factor here. I know it sounds crazy. Like, yeah, of course the quarterback
I think he needs to play smarter.
Well,
that's his thing.
Do you think he will under Harbaugh?
I think he's going to have to. You can't lower your head. You can't be putting your shoulder down and run into guys. You're not a running back. Get out of bounds. Play for the next down.
But he still seems to have the mentality, Mike, that he wants to play the way that he's always played, which is who he is.
Yeah. I think that's just how him and Scadaboo are programmed. So I think it's mostly a good thing because I prefer my players to put their hearts on the line and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think with Dart, I feel like the first 5 or 6 games, we're going to see some things that he does, maybe try to extend the play he shouldn't have, or maybe throw a ball that gets picked. And he's going to learn from that. I think with this coaching staff, it's going to really get beat into him now. You cannot do that. And I do think to a degree it will get better. I don't think Dart is going to stop running all of a sudden, or if it's 3rd and 7 and he's running right for that first down marker, I don't think he's going to pull back. I just don't think that's who he is, to his own detriment at sometimes maybe. But I think with maybe throwing a dumb pass here and there, or if it's not a play where you have to have it all, if it's a first down kind of play and you're going to go one-on-one with a linebacker in the hole, maybe you don't do that. I think he can learn in that degree, but on big plays, I just think that's his mentality and that's just how it's going to be.
Frank, did you have a problem with Dart and Scadaboo, the way they handle the offseason a little bit? Dart jumping off of yachts and Scadaboo doing backflips?
They're kids. Is it a good look? No. But what are you going to do? I think they were talked to. I don't think you're going to see that happen again.
What do you think, Mike? Any issue with that?
Yeah, I didn't really care about the boat thing. The backflips I can do without because I feel like that you can actually get injured with. And when he didn't land that backflip Scadaboo, I was just like, oh my God. So it was a little concerning, of course. But even the softball game, Malik Neighbors, this is a different thing. But seeing the way Malik Neighbors was running down to first base in that softball game, I was like, oh, there's no shot this guy's ready for week 1. But here we are a couple months later and it's all different. So no, I don't, I agree. They're kids and it's what are you going to do? It's not like they're breaking laws or anything like that. I mean, could they be a bit smarter with how they handle their bodies and stuff? Yes, but, they're 23, 24. That's just how it is. And, I feel like that kind of personality, when you win here, it's going to be great. If you lose with it, then you know how it goes. We've seen plenty of examples of that in New York. But if they win with this personality, I think a lot of people are going to love it.
All right, so we know Mike is going to the preseason game. You have any other games on the schedule that you're going to?
Week one, I will be there.
Wow, so you're going Week 1. That's Sunday night, obviously, against the Cowboys, so we're looking forward to that. Frank, we don't know yet what game you're going to, maybe the 86 game that they're honoring that team against the Cardinals. How, though, Frank, do you consume the Giants games I know you're busy working at times. How does that go over at home with the girlfriend? Where are we at with you getting set for what should be a big year of Giants football here under Harbaugh year one?
Alone on the couch. That's it. I took last year was the first time in 10 years where I took Sundays off. So yeah, football Sunday. I sit on the couch, watch the game, and my son and I have a thing. We don't text each other during the game. We don't call. And we don't call until it's 0 on the clock because you never know with the Giants. They could be in victory formation and still lose. So we wait until the end of the game to analyze the game. We don't talk about it during the game. So that's it.
That Denver game last year was a great example of that. What about you, Mike? So we know you're going to the couple. What's a normal Sunday looking like for you?
I usually am on the couch. I try to have Red Zone on my laptop or like vice versa, or I'll have one on the TV, one on the laptop. This year, I'm actually missing my first football Sunday in like 10 to 12 years.
What do you got? Wedding?
So, yeah, my girlfriend's sister had a baby, baptism. So, yeah, I will be there. I am the godfather, though, so that's cool. So at least I'm like part of it.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
What week is that? What week? Who are they playing?
Actually, wait, hold on. No, I'm not missing the Giants game. The Giants play Monday that week. I have to miss football Sunday, which still sucks, but it's definitely could have been a lot worse. So I'll take it.
At least
I want to do that bar thing you were talking about with who's the guy you had on Monday?
We had Pudgy Mike. We were talking about
Pudgy Mike.
We'll go out to a bar and watch the game.
Yeah, spend a whole Sunday in a bar. I think we should do that.
I have not done that in years. I would love to do it. Is that, or you, when I was your age, Mike, probably I was like, I wanted no part of that. I'm locked in. Do you go out at all to watch games at bars?
No. I can't. I'm not even like a bar person in general, but like I just, especially with the Giants, like I just need to be in like I like to be alone for the most part. If I'm surrounded by other fans of the Giants, like okay, I have a few friends of mine that are, but like in general, I just like to be kind of locked in a room by myself. There's times I get very superstitious. I remember Super Bowl 46. I must have watched it on all 4 of my TVs in my house, and if they started playing poorly, I went to a different TV. So in the end, it worked out. But yeah, I like to be alone for the most part.
Yeah, that's how I always was. But man, after I started living in the city, single, it was great to go out to the bars and hang out, beginning to the end from Sunday, watching all these games. But any way you consume it, it is a very special thing, and we're looking forward to what should be a much better season with the New York Football Giants. Frank the Chef, we appreciate you coming on, making your debut here. We'll see you over at Rails or maybe on a football Sunday if we hang out at the bar. And Mike Too Nice, we look forward to having you back at some point soon. Good luck. I know both of you guys love the Giants. I'm hoping, along with you, that it's a very successful season and we'll follow it along the way. Which you know, look, even if it doesn't end in the postseason, as long as it gets close and you have some meaningful games beyond Halloween, is that too much to ask? Can they get us to beyond Halloween? I don't want to be texting with either of you two like, oh, I can't believe it. It's over again with these Giants. Get us beyond Halloween, right? That's not too much to ask.
Nah, I mean you play Tennessee, Arizona, New Orleans, Washington. Like, yeah, get us to Halloween. This schedule to start out is not too crazy, so I hope so.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. There you have it, Frank the Chef from Rails and Mike Too Nice, and all Giants football all the time. I mean, that's what it's going to be for those two guys and a lot of people in the tri-state area. Of course, huge Giant fans. We get into the Jets as well. Me specifically, I like talking about both teams. Give me the one that's going to be good for at least a little while here. Which one will that be? Well, we were just talking about win totals with these guys. Big Blue right now is trading. Currently, they are trading at 45% to win at least 8 games this season, meaning that if you put $100 trade, you pay out $210. That's if the Big Blue can win at least 8 games. So go to Kalshi and check that out. Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season's end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you could buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app. Use code SAL to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. Must be 18 or over. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back with another episode. There you have it. We did Jets on Tuesday, Giants on Wednesday, and we'll have some more fun Thursday. I'm actually playing golf with Francesa, probably as you're listening to this. Playing golf with Francesa right now. We had to tape this on Tuesday night, so this is airing Wednesday morning. I don't like lying to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you the truth.
Can we get a prediction on who's coming out on top in this golf match?
Probably not me. I would bet Mike.
So it's you versus Mike in a stalemate?
No. There's 4 people. I'm not going to mention who. What are you being nosy for? You got to know who.
I'm just wondering. No invite, so I might as well ask.
You didn't. No, you don't play golf, and you got to wear sleeves when you show up.
All right, never mind.
Why don't you pop on the screen for a second?
That's an absolute deal breaker. I'm not wearing sleeves. So can I break kayfabe for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
This Yankee game is an absolute ball crusher that I'm watching here. I mean,
going
up and down and up and down, and now they're down again. Hedrick just blew the lead. They were up 6-5 off the bat, Luis Garcia, and now Isaac Paredes just got on to give up another run. So now it's 8-6.
But here's that they're losing 8-6.
Now they're losing 8-6. Yes.
Yeah, I correctly traded on the over for that game because I didn't like Will Warren and the Yankees bats are hot. Here's the problem with that. Like the episode's over, and now I don't know if they won or lost.
Yeah, I mean, you want to hang it out and watch the rest of this episode? Like, what are the solutions there, big guy?
No, I don't. I got stuff to do. We were supposed to tape and not talk about the Yankees purposely.
Well, I asked you if I could break kayfabe, and you said yes.
You could, but now you just, like, we're not going to be able to react to the game.
I saw totally just killed my mood, like, absolutely killed my mood.
Well, hopefully they could come back. We'll find out. We'll recap that on the next episode that we do live. All right. You want to talk about the Mets, too? I mean, goodness gracious. All right.
Yeah, you want the score?
I purposely avoided the Yankee talk. That does it for us. We'll see you next time with a brand new episode. Don't forget to download, rate, subscribe, like. Please smash that like button. Hype the show up. It helps. We'll see you later. Bye.